ahead and get started here. My name's Dennis Smeltzer, president of TSANet. A lot of you know me. I was kind of scanning the list of the registrants on the before the call here, and a very good group of people and a very diverse group of people too. So we're going to cover this. I've just got a few slides to go through. With me is also Paul Esch. He's our director of strategy and business development. And also Stephanie Benson's with me. She's making sure that we don't mess things up too bad here. So again, I've got just a few slides, after looking at the list, what I wanted to do is sort of put this in context for everybody. So let me try to pull up our slides here and see if we can get these to run through. Okay, and Stephanie, you and Paul, let me know if this is not working for us. But I wanted to put this.
Looking good.
Okay, very good. I wanted to put this slide in here. Obviously the topic here is about custom groups. I'm going to talk about a couple of different things about it, but I wanted to put this slide in the very beginning because to set some context around this. And what this is the open group model, right? So when TSANet, historically, when we first got started and everything, one of the big value adds of the entire organization was that you could come into this ecosystem and join into what we now call this many-to-many group relationship, where when you came into it, as long as you qualified to get into that group, everybody could talk to everybody. And that's still the case today. And so where we got into this whole concept of custom groups was the ability for you to customize that relationship, and then it ended up morphing into various different forms. And so that's what the next slide is going to talk about here. But what I wanted to do is to kind of set a parameter here to say, well, you know, this is what most people are part of. Now, there are some people on this call that don't participate in the open groups. And that's a little bit different conversation if you want to create your own custom group, because you have to be at this level of membership in order to create a custom group. You certainly can participate in custom groups, but I wanted to put this in here to give everybody some context around the open group versus the custom group a little bit. And this will make a little bit more sense when I go to this next slide here. So here's what happened, right? The members came back to us and said, well, the basic and the premium TSANet, that's all fine and good, and it works for probably about 90% of the relationships, cooperative support relationships that I need to have with other companies. And especially it works for, you know, a company that I didn't even know could be even part of our technology, and now all of a sudden they are, and we need to be able to communicate with them. So they're part of TSANet in either basic or premium, and hey, I've got that relationship with them. But in some cases, I need something a little bit more strategic, or I even have another company out there that maybe doesn't really have a need. Maybe they only operate with one or two other companies' technologies, and they don't need to be a part of a bigger ecosystem. So we need to be able to use TSANet because we think it's valuable in that you already have this legal structure, you've already got this operational framework, it's already in place, and what I would really like to do is just tell this other member, hey, just join TSANet and we're done. But the problem is for some companies that maybe they don't want to join into that big ecosystem, or in a lot of cases I've got a partner program, and what I really need to do is I've got a bunch of partners out there that I want to be able to engage and collaborate with, and it may be only one way for the most part. It could be that maybe that partner would only be reaching into the host, or vice versa, the other way around, but still I want to have that mechanism put in place. So what you're going to see in this custom group is really this falls into the two different categories. Is we've got a peer group and we've got a partner group. The peer group could be as simple as a one-to-one relationship with another company, a very highly strategic relationship that you need to set up with another company. Or it could be that maybe it's even a strategic group of a dozen companies or half a dozen companies. We've got some of those in place now as well, where companies are coming in and I've got this technology platform that I'm providing out, and it really is part of several companies, and I need to create highly streamlined way for me to engage and collaborate with my partners in this environment. And so what I can do is I can create a custom group around that that is specific to that. And what makes TSANet a little bit unique in how we go about doing this is that we've already got that legal framework in place. So when we get into the details about how you create a custom group, I've already got all those templates there, right? We've already, if you're a member of TSANet, you've already agreed to that legal structure. So all we have to do is then customize the operational piece of that framework and put it into place. And this is where we've got what TSANet has done over the last several years is we've now got companies that have basically disbanded. Look, I'm not going to do any more CSAs. Too much of a hassle. I have to go through the legal thing. I've got to then figure it out, and then I've got to keep it somewhere, and somebody's got to remember all this. And if you set up TSANet as your multi-vendor framework, then you can put everything behind it. So what we did, again, back to the custom group piece of this, is we set it up to where you can really do just about anything you want, from a one-to-one to one-to-many to use to operating your partner programs under the TSANet custom group structure. And that's what this is representing here. It's what it's all about. Okay. Behind that, then, where we get into, so say, partner programs and things like that, was companies said, well, it would really be nice because I've got hundreds of partners and I need to get them all signed up. I need a very streamlined process on how to do that. So what we did was we went out and we set up a landing page to where if it's not an existing TSANet member, and that's what you're seeing on the left here with VMware, is that if they're not an existing TSANet member, you've created a custom group that you host. So from the partner's perspective, they're coming into a one-to-one relationship with a host company. Then what we can do is we can set up this landing page, tell them everything that they need to know about the organization. Typically, you would point to that landing page from a site for your partners, and they would come in and they can automatically sign up into the relationship in through one process. So once they go through this, and I'll actually show you this, I'll give you a bit of a demo here on a couple of things. But one of them is that they come in, they actually sign the company into this, they agree to the legal documents, they put in a contact document so that if the host needs to engage that partner, they've got a way to do that. They go ahead and put that in there, and they're automatically signed up into that relationship, and the host has control over that. So there's a stopgap that we put in place that after the company signs up, it sends an email out to TSANet, sends an email out to the host, and that is the stopgap that says, well, did you want this company to sign up into your relationship? And until you tell me, yes, that company's okay, then I can't click the okay button. But when I do, assuming you say it's okay for that partner to be part of my relationship, then it automatically sends them out their credentials, group login. You're automatically put into the relationship so that the host sees it as a one-to-many. It's a totally automated process. Even the cost is put into it, and we'll talk about the cost and all that kind of stuff, how it works. So we've got that, and I'll give you an idea of what these landing pages look like as well. We create these whether it's a big custom group with hundreds of companies, or even if it's you've got just a couple of companies that you want to pull into your own custom group, we'll create these landing pages for you. And in addition to that, on the right-hand side, what we're showing over here is the marketing piece of this. And what we've done is the companies came back that had these programs and said, look, I need something that explains a little bit more about what is the value of this. What's the benefit to me joining into TSANet? And so what we've done is we've come up with some co-branded benefit stuff it's really polished, very nice looking, and it's also specific to what you're trying to accomplish as a partner program. Been very successful at these. We get very few companies, and in fact, from a TSANet member perspective, most of the companies that have upgraded their membership into the basic and premium levels, a lot of them now have started out as limited members. So coming into a limited member is a company that comes into one of these custom groups, but that does not participate in the basic or the premium open groups that I was showing you before. So again, just some of the things that we've done here, and this is all to help you out as a member, right? This is to benefit you if you're an open group member. Creating or participating in these custom groups is part of your membership package. And for a lot of you that are on this call, as I was again scanning the list, you should be taking advantage of this because there's no cost to it. It's such an easy way for you to set up a cooperative support relationship with another company. You just tell them, hey, if they don't want to join in the basic or the premium level, I've got a custom group set up. You can join in just a one-to-one relationship with me. Very easy to do. Go to this landing page, boom, you're done. So a lot of companies are starting to do that a little bit. So one of the other things, and I'll give you an example of this as well when we get into the demo here in just a second, is that behind the custom groups, in a lot of cases, companies wanted to have more features built into that because we're either talking about a partner program, or we're talking about a strategic group of a few companies, or maybe even a one-to-one relationship. So we added some things in there. Certainly, case exchange can be a very big part of this, and the reason that we have it as a bullet point on here, which again, case exchange, obviously the ability for you to be able to work through your CRM system or work through the member web in an automated fashion to pass tickets and get updates on tickets. That's what case exchange does. But in a lot of cases, what we've seen, especially in the bigger companies, is, you know what, I think I'll use case exchange for my custom group because maybe I don't want to implement it in this big open group fashion with everybody, but within this group, with a small group of companies that I'm going to work with in my custom group, maybe I want to use case exchange, right? But the other thing that we ran into was knowledge exchange. Maybe I want to be able to share knowledge articles or something that's going on with my group. So again, the only people that get to see this microsite are those that are part of your custom group. So knowledge exchange is something that we can put in there. Training exchange. There are other features like putting virtual lab links and things like that. Really, when it comes to the microsite, depending on what you want to do, we'd like to work with you on new features and things that we'd like to do. But these are the things that we have in there right now. I can turn around and turn on knowledge and training exchange, and certainly we can turn on case exchange in a custom group for you right now. So it's not a problem. But I'll give you an example of what these microsites look like, and you kind of see for yourself what this is all about. And that, in fact, let's go to the demo. So first I want to show you, let me show you this landing page, and I picked EMC as the landing page. So again, you notice up here, we created this URL. It's just going to end in .tsanet.org. You can call it anything that you want. And we've even got a how-to video behind it. They can come in and view this. It's not a very complicated process to join up to it, but some companies want to see, especially when it comes to inputting that contact document, there's some valuable information behind that. Now, this would be for a member that is never signed up to TSANet before. So they're not an existing member either in a limited member as a one-to-one relationship, or in a big custom group or in a big open group like basic or premium. If they already are an existing member, any type of member, remember they've already signed all the paperwork. They just need to sign into your relationship. So we implement them manually into that. And TSANet becomes kind of a little bit of an account control person. So we help the partner managers, hey, these are the companies we're working on to get in. These are the ones we're going to implement manually. These are the ones that need to come to the website. Again, we're there to help partners get signed up into this regardless of what level. But they come into this, and I'm not going to, this is a slide here, but you continue on this. Basically what it does is ask for their information. In fact, I can go to this, right? And they put this information in, and then once they put it in, then they go in and it will take them through the paperwork, and they can print the paperwork out and then agree to it electronically. Then it takes them into the wizard where they put in their contact document, and it finishes up with a payment portal or not, depending on how the fees are being paid. And they're signed up after they put that stopgap in there about notification and making sure that this is the kind of partner that you want in that relationship. Once we get the okay, we click the button and everybody can activate that relationship. So that's how the landing pages are done. We've got templates. Again, this is customizable. We can set up for you like we've done here with EMC. The other demo that I wanted to show you is, again, I've logged in here as EMC as a user. And what I wanted to show you is this microsite. And in this case, I'm going to show you what it looks like from a host perspective. So if I go back and use that EMC example, I've actually got that up as a shortcut here in this tile in this EMC Tech Connect partner program. And if I click on that as a user, a lot of this is because I'm logged in as administrator. You're not going to see. But basically, what comes up here is it tells you in the microsite, and again, customizable, what this relationship is all about. So if you've got something strategic that you need to guide your engineer through, you can tell everybody about that. You've also got the ability to add customizable notes and things like that, whatever you want to put in here. Up at the top, we've got the training exchange. In this case, knowledge exchange is not in here, but it's something I can turn on and turn off. But what I wanted to show you is the rubber meets the road here on the collaborate feature. Now I'm logged in as the host, and I've got all of my partners in here. So this is the way that I would engage all of my partners through this particular program, right? So this is, from the host perspective, the one-to-many relationship. And I'm not going to go in here and show you, but basically you all see what a contact document is. You know, how would this company, in this case, collaborate with Acronis, right? And they're going to put information in there that they can go in and tell you how to do that. So that's what a microsite looks like for every custom group. If you want it, and for most custom groups we recommend it, we go ahead and set up a microsite behind it. Even if it's a one-to-one relationship, can be beneficial to guide that engineer through, hey, this is when you'd want to use this relationship to make sure that it was all there. Okay. Now, the other thing I'll go ahead and mention is that if I was a partner, I'm not going to show you this, but you can imagine if I was a partner, I would go ahead and go out to this microsite. But when I clicked on collaborate, I wouldn't see all of these companies because as a partner, it's a one-to-one relationship. So what I would see is the contact document that the host put up there. So very simple from the partner's perspective, less clicks, they go in there, they click on collaborate, and you can even put that on the home page of the microsite. That collaborate button can be right there. They just click on it and there it is. And they see how they would, in this case, engage EMC. And obviously you can have a separate contact document up there if you'd like to have it for this particular relationship. It doesn't need to be tied into the basic or the premium. Okay, so that's kind of what it looks like. Again, all this stuff is pretty simple, but sometimes it helps a little bit of show and tell. Let me go back to my my slides here. I think I've just got one more here. A couple. I wanted to talk a little bit about the pricing, a little bit here, and what we did was we initially didn't have the ability for the host to pay for a membership for one of their partners coming into this. We now have that ability. It's on a sliding scale, so it's really one of these things where I'd like to talk to you about how we would go about doing that. It's something that's become very popular, and I think part of the reason is it really streamlines the process. So we don't have to wait to go through the accounting process, even though there's even a credit card portal that we can tie directly in to the landing page. A lot of companies, if they want to pay for their partners to come into this, we do it once a year. The fee is very much reduced. So again, let me go through these bullets here to explain it. If you're an open group member, you can create or participate in as many of these custom groups, and there is no charge. That's part of your basic or premium fee. So even if you're a host, you've got other companies that you want to pull into your own custom group, there's no charge if they're an open group member already. If you want to host a relationship and you want to pull in companies that are not part of TSANet, there is a $2,500 fee that we set to charge to set it up but if you meet the criteria of pulling in over 50 companies over a period of a year, that fee is waived. And if you're a global premium member, the fee is waived anyway. So So if you come into this for $2,500, you can set up this group and work with it. Now, this is only if you're paying for it, right? And then the limited members, if they were to come in where you wanted the limited member to pay for it, then it's $500. So again, we're not talking about large costs here. And the very last bullet point down here on the host can pay for it. If you decide to pay for it, that fee is reduced. And Paul, you might be able to, I don't have it up here, but I think it's $250 per member, I believe, even at the highest bandwidth if you're paying for companies coming in. So it's not a large amount of money. What we've done is make this really easy for companies to come in and for you to pay for it, or even if they're paying for it, $500 for them, and that's an annual fee for them to come into it, and that's per custom group. Okay. So the other piece of this, and I think I've got a next step slide here that I want to explain also. We did record this webinar, so be able to get it out. If you've got partner teams that might be able to take advantage of this, I think the way to do it is to set up a one-to-one conversation and let us walk them through that. To do a custom group is really easy. I set these up all the time, and I do it usually in a matter of hours because I've already got the templates in place. All I need to know is, all we need to do is set up the operational framework, and then we need to set up the addendum behind it. Do you want it to be 24/7? Do you want it to be 8 to 5? All the templates are really in place. If you want to customize it even more for SLAs, entitlement, whatever you want to do, usually we can set these relationships up in pretty short order. So again, that's one of the benefits of being a member. Okay, so there's a lot more on our website. You can go under TSANet.org and click on our features. We've got all sorts of stuff up there on custom groups. We've got an ebook, we've got some brochures, and again, I would recommend that we go in and meet with your partner teams if you want to look at this at a partner level, or even if it's a simple one-to-one relationship, or you just need to pull in a company that, hey, I need to have some kind of relationship with this company. Set up a custom group. We'll pull them into your custom group. Won't cost you a thing. Most it would cost them is $500. Okay, so let me go to any questions. Paul, I'm going to ask you and Stephanie to help me out if there's any questions that we've got.
I've got somebody here asking Dennis, from start to finish, how quickly could a custom group be implemented?
And I tell you, it really depends on the group that you're setting up. But I'd say
remember that the other people can't hear me because I'm just a panelist.
Right. Actually, I think they can. But I'll repeat the question. The question was, how long does it take from beginning to end to set it up? And it really depends a little bit on the kind of group you're setting up. A partner program, takes a little bit more work. Actually, in coordination, from the TSANet perspective, it's really pretty easy on how to set it up. But I would say the answer is in a custom group, I can usually get the operational framework and the addendum set up within 1 to 2 days, and to actually implement the relationship in a partner perspective, as long as the approvals are all there and we've got somebody to work with, at the most I'd say a week, and could be done even shorter than that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I've got one more question, Dennis.
Go ahead.
If I'm an open group member, how many custom groups do I get for my basic membership fee?
It is unlimited. You can have as many as you want, and we've got those companies that I'll call it kind of strategic positioning of TSANet within their organizations for their relationships, especially in some of the larger companies, have got multiple custom groups. So they utilize TSANet not only, in the basic or premium format, but they'll turn around and say, I've got this company wants to come in, but they don't want to join the big basic or premium, so I got a custom group for that. I got another one that's a custom group that's 24/7, and then I got another strategic group with several companies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think is that going to do it? Because we actually went longer than I thought we would. We pulled up on our half hour here.
Only just.
Only just. Okay. So if you've got, again, any questions, membership at TSANet.org, or you can get a hold of me directly, Dennis at TSANet.org. Stephanie's going to get information out to everybody that registered for this, whether you got a chance to attend or not. And again, well, I want to thank you for coming in and participating in the webinar. Thanks very much, everybody.